Welcome to a very autumnal. The leaves have started to fall. It is definitely slowing down in the garden, which I'm kind of enjoying. Now, I actually have a pain in my face, a literal pain in my face. I have a dentist appointment I have to, and I don't know what fate awaits me. I have a partially erupted wisdom tooth that I'd like to keep if I can, because I've got the other three, no bother. So it would be a shame to break up a set of 4, but I don't know what fate awaits me. So if I'm a little bit off today, it's because I'm in pain, but an ibuprofen has kicked in. So I'm going to do, what do we do when we're sad and in pain? We do some gardening. Also, haven't cut the grass for about 10 days because I was on my Camino trip, came back and it was raining and the temperature is cooler. It's like a proper grey autumnal day now. Because this afternoon I could be sitting on a couch, I don't know. People are going to be poking in my mouth. Who knows? I could be very grumpy. I'm gonna do the gardening because that makes me happy, and I know I'll feel better when I come home and I look outside and the garden is lovely and tidy. Also, I want to go and buy spring bulbs and do some planning for next year, but I told Karen I'd wait. She's gone on holidays, so when she comes back I'm gonna go bulb shopping with her. But if I'm still feeling miserable, I'm gonna go buy me some bulbs because that made me feel better. Anyway, let's have a little look outside. So the trees, some of them are still looking quite luscious and green, but these are starting to fall. So look how thick. Oh yeah, lovely thick grass. Isn't it mad how much it recovers compared to, oh look at all these leaves, compared to the summer when it was starting to get parched. Now in fairness, the back wasn't too bad, it was the front. So this is all that's kind of left. The dahlias have completely slowed down. They're getting some leaves too. Snapdragon's nearly all gone. It's starting to kind of just, oh, airplane, be messy. Have loads of tomatoes, the last of the tomatoes just to take in. And yeah, a little bit of colour. Still have, waiting on some sprouts. Waiting on these sprouts. Cabbage. I gave some away, but these are almost, I'd say, ready to give away because I'm not going to be able to eat them all. Still have colour over here, which is great, but it is starting to kind of just flop over and get messy. But do you know what? Verbena, doing great, and that geranium's still going. Like there's still, like it's not dead. So first thing I'm going to do is tidy up these edges. This bed, I want to kind of pull out the last of the sunflower stems and get this ready because I want to put loads of spring bulbs into this bed. Also, I just wanted to note the temperature because it has gone proper cool now at 12 degrees and it's 10 a.m. and today is like a high of 13. That's like winter day almost. And the rest of the week, yeah, it's like a high of 16, 17 the rest of the week. And actually lots of rain from Friday onwards, so today is kind of the best garden day for me to do a few bits because then it's going to be raining. But I don't mind that because when you're looking out the window with your cup of tea, you're like, yeah, like it looks tidy. I kind of like, do I need a jumper? I know I'll be sweating in a minute, but I do kind of feel like I need a little jumper. Yeah. Miss Blondie having a little drink from the hedgehogs. Always, she has a water fountain inside and she chooses to drink from that. Nice and tidy. I feel like, isn't your life in more control when the grass is cut? So I think it's safe to say my tomato plants are definitely finishing up. But I got some tomatoes. Something I did while I was away, like this one, you were left on too long, my friend. You've gotten a bit squishy. It's definitely, there was a lot of rain and I don't think I got out quick enough. But I think the other guys aren't too bad. Little harvest. Having a little leaf check. Also, I don't know if you can see there's like a thorn bush that's growing over the wall and it has berries on it. Very cute. I'm sure the birds will be very happy with that. Very happy. Do you like what I did there? Very happy. Also, meant to say, I got some rocks for around my pond. Phone box man who actually gave me a tree and some pond plants is moving house, and he says, would you like some rocks for your pond? And I was like, yes, they're nice and big. I asked for a couple. I don't need all of them for around the pond, but just a couple. And yeah, I think they'd be nice to give like a bit of an edge. So I'll give them a little scrub down, pop them around. I'm not going to pop them like in the pond, just in the surrounding kind of area. I'm also going to just tidy up the front. The front is kind of just dying off now, but I'm going to give that grass a little trim. So today, aside from the tooth, is a good day because my flower subscription came, and something that I wanted to do this year, it wasn't a fail. I just felt bad cutting them because they were so pretty. My neighbour's dogs agree. My plan last year when I made the raised beds was to have cut flowers. And I kind of did for this spring cycle. So I had loads of tulips. There was loads of alliums, hyacinths and things like that. Lots of stuff that I could use for cut flowers. The dahlias you can use for cut flowers. I could even pop some in here. And I do need to kind of grow more foliage, like evergreens that you can use for foliage. I do love the eucalyptus bush and I can take little snippets off that. But there's a little cabbage in this. I love the ornamental cabbages. If you saw last week's video, I put some at the front door. But I did grow some stuff with the intention of cut flowers and ended up hardly cutting them because I just like to admire them in the garden. And I love Garden Answers cut flower garden. Like, that's a proper one. I had like a mini version, but I ended up enjoying the flowers to look at from my window for myself. But yeah, I pay for a monthly flower subscription because I love a fresh flower in the garden, and I can never get my flowers to be as perfect as a cut flower. But obviously, like with a lot of things, I'd say cut flowers are grown in, I don't know, polytunnels, or I don't know. I remember watching a program actually about cut flowers that came from Amsterdam, but they had come from other places. I think they came from like Africa or something. It was like fascinating. I must find it. It was on BBC. It was a couple of years ago though. I wonder could you get it on YouTube if you searched it. Just search for like cut flower production on a mass scale. It was a documentary. It was really interesting. But anyway, yeah, it's my little treat. But I was trying to grow cut flowers, but ended up leaving them in the garden. So I still treat myself to a flower subscription. I think it's only 20 quid a month, and they come randomly as well, and I'll be like, oh, there's a box of flowers at my door, and I have sent them to myself. And just a little tip, if you do get a bouquet and it has the ornamental cabbages, they can get a little bit stinky. So change the water. I actually change them every day. I just put fresh water in it with a little bit of sugar because I think it feeds the plants. I read that somewhere, tiny bit. But yeah, the ornamental cabbages in a bouquet can just be a little bit stinky. So heads up. It is time for a cup of tea. Also, I am the height of fashion today with my grey and beige. Don't think these go together on the colour wheel, but your girl is chilly. She's not well. Now, I wanted to have some garden chats because I was thinking ahead and I'd like to get your feedback, opinion. So obviously the garden is starting to wind down, but I reckon I'm able to garden a little bit longer and start earlier than some people because, well, I don't like commenting on the weather because it's very changeable, but the past couple of winters have been mild, as in like the coldest will be like maybe 1 or 2 at night. There hasn't been really bad frosts. Like last year there was hardly any frosts. I didn't kill any plants. So for the month of October and probably into the start of November, I can continue doing garden videos on a Sunday because there's bulbs to be planted. There is some weeding and mulching to be done on some of the borders. I also want to plan out and decide what I want to do in the front. I was thinking about doing, you know, a smaller little border with sleepers in my little front square patch. I'm kind of like, do I want to start another one when I'm not happy with the side border? But I'm like, you're always learning. So yeah, like this time of year is great for, sorry, the pigeon threw me off. Good old pigeon. So this time of year, autumn, what is the phrase? Spring gardens are planted in autumn, which is so true. I'm happy to kind of, you know, plow on making some videos up until I think like November-ish time. Because I remember last year I shared like I did some proper hard landscaping in December with my brothers. It was my Christmas present. So I know some people are not mad for like seasonal content, like Christmas content and stuff. I will be doing some of that obviously on my Thursday video in the home. But my garden video, I started the extra Sunday video, I started back I think in March. And with the intention of I'll just, you know, keep doing the Sunday. If people enjoy it and they watch it, I will kind of continue doing it. So for my regular viewers who maybe you only watch the Sunday video, what would you kind of like to see? I don't mind doing some cozy winter videos, but it probably wouldn't be weekly because let's face it, all we do in winter in the garden is let everything die back. I'm not going to be as tidy in the garden this winter because I was watching an episode of Gardener's World, story of my life. I need to get that printed on a t-shirt. I was watching an episode of Gardener's World and it was about insects. I think it was about insects or nature. It was with the 2 girls. It was like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or 3 weeks ago. Monty wasn't in it, it was the 2 girls. And it was a really fascinating episode. And it was saying how things, you know, leaving seed heads on for the birds, leaving your leaves not, and you guys know that. I know it's hard not to sweep all the leaves. But not being too clean over winter because, you know, insects and stuff will hibernate in your messy patches. However, in saying that, I'll still keep it a little bit tidy. I will embrace some of the leaves, just not all of it. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with the Sunday video until about November time, and then I will check in with you guys. And even if I do like a once monthly or fortnightly one during winter time, even Gardener's World calms down. They don't cut, they cut and then they're back in I think March. I think March just be the first week of March just be like the first episode of Gardener's World. So October is a great month in the garden because you've got your bulbs, you're planning for spring, and it's great to plan ahead, and then everything goes to rest, including me in the garden. I don't like winter. I'm not a winter person. I'm definitely spring. Spring is my season, but you can't appreciate, oh, I'm getting philosophical now, it must be the sawtooth. I don't think you can appreciate spring unless you have a winter. You have to have that coldness, and then you get sick of winter and you're like, yes, spring. You get joy. If it was spring all the time, we wouldn't be happy either. Okay, I'm gonna end it there because I need to go and wash myself before I let a dentist poke in my mouth. And my ibuprofen is wearing off. Light a candle, they let me keep the tooth. I know the dentist is yes, but also, just a quick one, if you have wisdom teeth or any tooth pain, don't start Googling things. You can saline solution rinse your mouth, put Bonjela on an ibuprofen until the cows come home. But if you're in pain, book the dentist straight away. There's a reason, they're professionals. I was Googling how can I handle, manage this myself, and then I'm like, no, you're gonna waste money buying random stuff on the internet. If you just go to the dentist in the first place, you will, yeah, because I'm like this the past like 5 days. I should have just done it in the beginning. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. If you are new to my channel, I'll leave the link to the playlist, the usual. Regular viewers, cheeky thumbs up, and I'll see you, hopefully with me tooth, in next week's video.